Happy holidays, everyone. Welcome to Charbone's Investor Webinar. This is Trevor Brucato with RBMG, Charbone's US-based investor relations firm. Charbone is listed in Canada on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol CH, and in the US on the OTCQB under the symbol CHHYF. Joining us today is Charbone's Chair and CEO, Dave Gagnon, and CFO, Benoit Veilleux, who will be going through the company's investor presentation covering a brief overview of current operations, market insights on the clean, ultra-high purity, or UHP, hydrogen, and other gases. Also, recent corporate achievements and upcoming milestones. After management's prepared remarks, we will open up to Q&A. We received a lot of questions from registration, but if we have any additional questions today from you guys, throughout today's presentation, you can submit them in the Q&A module. If we do not have time to address all your questions, management will do its best to address them via email or in future announcements or presentations. Please note this webinar is being recorded today, December 16th, and will be posted on the company's website shortly after today's event, along with the company's updated presentation. Charbone's website is charbone.com. Now for a quick disclaimer. Today's presentation may contain forward-looking statements that are subject to risks and uncertainties that may be out of Charbone's control and should not be construed as a recommendation or a solicitation to buy or sell any security. Charbone's full disclaimer is shown here in their presentation and can be found on their website at charbone.com. Lastly, RBMG is not a registered investment advisor or broker-dealer. For more information on us, including our disclaimer, please visit rbmilestone.com. And now it is my pleasure to turn it over to Charbone's Chair and CEO, Dave Gagnon. Dave, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Trevor, for the introduction. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Dave Gagnon. I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Charbone Corporation, and I bring over 20 years of experience building and operating companies in the energy and industrial gases sector. We are pleased to welcome you to Charbone's first ever corporate webinar, an important milestone for our company as we continue to execute on our strategy and engage more directly with our investors, partners, and stakeholders. Let me say a few words in French. Merci Trevor pour cette introduction. Bonjour à tous et merci de vous joindre à nous aujourd'hui. Je m'appelle Dave Gagnon, je suis le fondateur et chef de la direction de Corporation Charbone et je cumule plus de 20 ans d'expérience dans la création et l'exploitation d'entreprises dans le secteur de l'énergie et des gaz industriels. Nous sommes heureux de vous accueillir aujourd'hui à ce tout premier webinaire corporatif de Charbone, une étape importante pour notre société, alors que nous poursuivons l'exécution de notre stratégie et renforçons nos échanges directs avec nos investisseurs, partenaires et parties prenantes. Who's Charbone? Charbone is an industrial gases company built to meet real industrial needs, not theoretical concepts. We operate through two complementary divisions. On one side, our strategic engine, the production of ultra-high purity hydrogen produced locally, cleanly, and to some of the highest quality standards in the market. On the other, industrial gases distribution division. This vertical integration between production and distribution allow us to control and better serve the customer relationship, something very few hydrogen players are able to do today. Charbone is not an experimental startup. It is an industrial platform under construction designed to generate revenues, deliver quickly, and scale in a disciplined manner. How we are different? What sets Charbone apart is simple, yet difficult for competitors to execute. First, unmatched hydrogen purity. Our industrial customers require reliability, consistency, and quality. This is exactly what we deliver. Second, decarbonized production, powered by the cleanest available local energy sources with a clear objective, lower emissions. Our model in North America, human scale and local. We build industrial assets close to the end users, creating economic value within the communities where we operate. From a risk perspective, our approach is deliberately pragmatic. We de-risking a project, we deploying rapidly our asset, and scale only once demand is confirmed. Our mission is clear: to become the reference brand for ultra-high purity, low carbon intensity hydrogen in North America and Asia Pacific through a modular approach supported by Tier 1 industrial alliance and a professional team with deep backgrounds in energy, infrastructure, and industrial gases. Then I will let you continue.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
So Benoit Veilleux, I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Charbone since end of 2022. I have an accounting background, started my career at KPMG. Also have several roles related to public companies. And most importantly, I'm bringing to the team M&A experience and industrial gases experience while I was leading the accounting and finance team at the Air Liquide Canada head office here in Montreal. So Charbone is targeting the industrial merchant customers that are using in their process a variety of industrial gases, where amongst them there's the hydrogen and helium, for example. So the global industrial gases market, it's a huge market size, billions of revenues and purchases into the market. So hydrogen is just one of those industrial gases, but is one of the fastest growing segments right now. Where there's, because there are key drivers right now into the market, from data centers, growing sector, semiconductor expansion, also pressure on heavy industries to decarbonize, and so on. So hydrogen demands right now into the market is growing fast. For hydrogen, there's different methods of production. The most commonly used right now, where 99.9% of all the production of hydrogen worldwide is done with steam methane reformer sourced by natural gas. There's also a recent technology, not necessarily fully proven yet, which is named carbon capture, that is sometimes right now added to the steam methane reformer process to reduce the carbon emissions. But the more importantly, Charbone clean ultra high purity method to produce hydrogen is electrolysis process. So being sourced with water and renewable electricity, with the equipment of electrolyzers, we're able to produce ultra-high purity, clean, ultra-high purity hydrogen. This is the process where we can reach the highest grade of hydrogen, purity hydrogen, that is required for semiconductor fabrication, fuel cell vehicles, labs, pharmaceuticals, aerospace, military sector, and so on. And those sectors are very growing right now, and the demand for ultra-high purity hydrogen to the market is more and more and growing quickly. The high purity hydrogen is needed and is required because it could damage fuel cells, for example, could reduce performance of computers and electronic devices, and could contaminate chemical and pharmaceutical production processes. Next slide, it's to show you that Charbone is targeting the North America market and also have a toe into the Asia Pacific market with a recently announced Malaysia service contract agreement, where it's the bigger, let's say, and the biggest markets into the world. So Charbone is focusing North America and Asia Pacific, where the growing industrial gases markets are. It's important also to know that the majority of the hydrogen produced right now by players that are worldwide leaders as Air Liquide, Air Product, and so on. You see on the screen a couple of them. But they're producing hydrogen with mega hydrogen plants in a centralized model, where they're installing their hydrogen capacity of production near their biggest customer, which are the oil and gas customers, refineries, and so on. Charbone is different and is understanding the market, the industrial merchant market, with a modular, local, decentralized production. Charbone's modular, decentralized approach directly solves the cost, purity, logistic, and emissions problems created by traditional megaplant hydrogen suppliers, unlocking regional clean hydrogen markets that the majors cannot efficiently serve right now. If we go a bit more into the detail of our modular, local, decentralized production, key important competitive advantage is that we're doing small to mid-scale modular units that permit us to complete and generate revenues within a time frame of 6 to maximum of 12 months. It's very fast and a flexible deployment strategy. It reduces the capex investment needed to produce those capacity and revenues with a local to hyper-local distance with our end user customers, which permit us to eliminate the need to convert the compressed gas of hydrogen to liquid for transportation, which reduce the equipment needed as liquefier and vaporizator at the customer site, and so reducing the capex investment needed. It also eliminates the product losses while transporting the hydrogen versus if we were to do it in liquid. This less distance, less transportation costs, which permit Charbone to be very competitive into the market, where the end user prices are having a significant portion related to those transportation costs right now. That way, Charbone aims to be highly reliable with a local redundancy and rapid delivery, and be able to well serve the growing sector as semiconductors, pharmaceutical, and specialty industry, backup power, and so on. I'll now pass the puck to Dave to continue our Sorel Tracy project.
Thank you, Ben. From strategy to execution, Sorel Tracy is where Charbone's strategy becomes tangible. We have developed an ultra-purity hydrogen production site, ideally located in the heart of a major industrial corridor, with direct access to the highways, rail, port, and exceptional electrical infrastructure. The project is modular and deployed in phases, allowing us to deliver quickly, limit capital at risk, and grow only when market demand justify it. Powered by 100% renewable at Sorel, baseload electricity, each kilograms of hydrogen produced reduce up to 10 kilograms of CO2 compared to the traditional production methods. Charbone has built and owned its own electrical line on the site, connect to the Hydro-Québec 25,000 kV. Sorel is not a pilot project. It is Charbone's industrial template, a repeatable model designed to be deployed elsewhere across North America with the same discipline, the same quality, and the same speed of execution.
Thanks, Dave, for those details on the project at Sorel Tracy on the operational side. And then let me maybe show you the project financial performance from that project that you see on the screen. Where also important, our current status that we have launched a phase 1A, where the phase 1 is split in 1A and 1B, with an initial molecule produced November 30th and announced on December 1st. And also with the announcement of this morning, for the one I've not seen yet, we are now continuously producing and advancing towards initial revenues. Our next step is to ramping up phase 1B quickly. And as you can see, generate with our phase 1, 5 million of revenues, with EBITDA over revenues of more than 50%, 50 margins, with a high return on investment, while serving our strong network of offtake customers. Also to be noted, since it's a Canadian project, Charbone will be eligible to the Clean Hydrogen ITC that could provide up to 40% of reimbursable tax credit of our CapEx equipment investment. So in terms of expansion, yes, there's phases like at Sorel Tracy, we can go up to 5 phases, but there's also other location we are targeting. And our next and first production facility in the United States would be in the Michigan state near Detroit, and be serving the industrial merchant users of hydrogen in that area, in a similar commission plan of Sorel Tracy, as Charbone will be copy-pasting his already know-how and experience in his first flagship Sorel Tracy project. Another way of expanding is also with our industrial gases distribution division, where we'll be able to deliver other gases to all our customers, increasing the opportunities, and be able to be a one-shop supplier for our customers. To be noted, we already have made first sale with a delivery of helium in October of this year with our dedicated helium tube trailer to support our new commercial activity in Ontario. So that division will be increasing our recurring revenue stream and add some synergistic specialty gases, and amongst them, helium. So I was talking about our strong network of customers previously. So I can say right now we're having prospective customer. We have more than 60 prospective customers, where with some of them we have started signing agreements that could be in between 1 to 5 years. But it's important to understand that the industrial merchant segment market for hydrogen, it's not necessarily common to have all our customers sign and under contract. And it is Charbone decided to strategically avoiding long-term contracts due to the high demand for clean UHP, ultra-high purity hydrogen, into the market right now. We're also having an alliance since spring of this year with a major US industrial gas producer that permit us to have access to all the other industrial gases, amongst them helium, like I said. In terms of construction and engineering, Charbone has developed a know-how, has developed an expertise in the last 3-4 years to design, build, and scale its own hydrogen facility to North America by leveraging the local team and experts and technical advisors. And to mention one of them, ABB, which will be an important actor in our electrical connection in North America for all our projects. On the technology side and equipment, Charbone is not taking technology risk, but has rather focused on developing a huge supply chain network all around the world with multiple suppliers in North America and internationally for our industrial gas equipment, such as electrolyzers, compressors, storage tubes, and distribution equipment. On the power side, for sure, for our CHHYF project, we have a very good relation and discussion with Hydro-Québec, where we are now sourced with 100% renewable baseload hydroelectric power for our project. Some corporate milestone, I will say near-term corporate milestone, as Charbone wants to stay focused and do things step by step. So as we have launched and now continuous production at Solar 3C and advancing towards initial revenues, we will quickly get to scaling up that project to phase 1B at the beginning of next year. And also, like I said earlier, get close to a launch of phase 1 at our Detroit, Michigan project. On the industrial gases distribution division, we will continue increasing our revenues from distributing other industrial gases in addition of helium. And also, in terms of the service contract, we will continue advancing on our advisors services to Malaysia project, and also maybe having discussion with other countries. You can see now on the screen a bit of the high management team and directors of the company. Also some shares matrix. Our share structure as of November 20th, 2025, which is our last disclosed financial information. And also you can see as of the closing share price of yesterday, our market cap was around 50 million Canadian. I can now return the discussion to Trevor. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll let Trevor continue.
Thanks, gentlemen. As mentioned, we'll now move to Q&A. Again, if you have any questions, you can submit them in the Q&A module. We'll begin the questions that were submitted to us by registration. If we do not have any time to address all of these questions, management will do its best to address them via email or in future announcements or presentations. All right, let's kick off here with the first question. Well, firstly, gentlemen, congrats on the announcement this morning regarding reaching continuous commercial production from phase 1A at Sorel Tracy. You mentioned you are now focused on delivering first product to customers and reaching initial revenues. Can you provide some clarity on how purchase orders work with your customers in the clean UHP hydrogen market?
So we have a different type of customers, Trevor. We have industrial independent distributor customers in the market now. We have also formerly our shareholders, they remember customers was signed with Superior Propane with a subsidiary, Certarus. We have that type also of customers. The organization right now preparing to deliver the first load of hydrogen, and it will be to one of our industrial independent distributor in the market. That kind of customers, we have a different business relation, and we already disclosed months ago one of them with a contract of a 5 years contract. So that's what we're looking at that time to do.
Get it. There have been a lot of questions about the names of your customers and strategic partners. You just mentioned some high level that you've been open to providing some clarity on. But are you able to disclose any other names at this time? And if not, any reasons why?
So normally, you know, the customers we're doing business there, they're recognized in their market. They're established in the market. It's the average of companies are between 10 years to for someone 40 and 50 years in the market. So for strategic reasons, we have to protect our business relation with our customers. We're a first mover in the market, and we will like for the moment to keep that type of customer names confidentially.
Thanks. How exposed is Charbone to policy risk, and is the company reliant on subsidies or grants, including, for example, the Canadian Refundable Investment Tax Credit?
It's important to understand that Charbone strategy is that we're not dependent on any subsidies or grants for government administrations, either Canadian or US. So Charbone is doing projects that are profitable, that are needed to serve our customers and the demand. But for sure, we're still eligible. And will apply to get it when it makes sense. Like I said earlier, we're eligible to the Canadian Clean Hydrogen Reimbursable Tax Credit, where we can get up to 40%. But that's just gravy on the top.
How are you mitigating risks from a tariff perspective?
So there's two ways of looking at it. In terms of operation, Charbone is deploying a decentralized approach. So our production facilities will be both sides of the border and serving our local customers. So reducing and mitigating the risk of exportation and importation and risk over tariffs. In terms of equipment purchases, like I said earlier, we have developed a huge supply chain all around the world in multiple countries, but there's a majority of them all in the US. So again, this permits us to get the equipment at the right cost and in a timely manner.
So on that question, for scaling up future projects, it does require access to additional electrolyzers. Can you discuss how you're mitigating risk on that front with regards to accessing this type of equipment and associated lead times?
Yeah, in addition to have a lot of relation and multiple supplier, the main equipment is electrolyzer. So we have 8, 9 suppliers for that specific equipment all around the world. We all have also ordered in advance. Right now, we actually have and made deposits on 3 electrolyzers. So the electrolyzer for phase 1B, for example, so it's already manufactured and ready to be installed at our site. And we have also 2 other 2.5 megawatt electrolyzer that we have ordered and made deposit when we close our convertible note financing of 1.5 million in December 2024.
Helpful. Since we're on the challenges and execution risks, maybe we can dig a little deeper on this. What are the execution risks or challenges that may arise during the scale up of your UHP hydrogen production projects?
And I can let Dave answer to that question.
Different kind of risks, but mainly it's turning around the labor subcontractors. We have a really good team in our organization. I mentioned before, we have guys from energy business like myself. We have guys from the industrial gases. We have 3 colleagues here was formerly with the Air Liquide, have a long experience. We have a pretty good knowledge to keep control on the subcontractor, and we developed very much a deep knowledge to manage that. But like any organization, labor staying one of the major risks we can have in the market. Benoit said before, we have already reserved also the electrolyzers. That's pretty good for Charbone. It's also a part where a few companies, they can have a problem to deliver on time. So also that part of business, it can be a risk, but it's managing by the company right now.
How about on permitting?
Permitting, for years, we have at Sorel-Tracy certificat d'autorisation of Ministère de l'Environnement. It's environmental permit from the government, already in force for the last few years. Where we have the whole permit to build, of course, and to operating on site.
So the permitting, the human capital, any reservation on equipment, this is done in advance in order to keep timelines on pace. So is it safe to say that while one project is ramping up and you're working on other projects simultaneously, you are getting your ducks in line as it relates to permitting and human capital and other initiatives in order to, again, remain on pace?
I don't want to underestimate it. Also, the capacity to do engineering on every site. But the good things with Charbone, we have a repeating business. I told before the template was created by Charbone at Sorel. It will be repeatable on the other sites, and part of that engineering process also will be reused for many projects. And that's fantastic also for us to again de-risking other opportunities.
Steve. While Charbone was able to achieve commercial production from Phase 1A at Sorel Tracy, prior to this, the company obtained an indicative term sheet for $50 million. Can you provide some color on the status of this and any thoughts on alternative funding sources to support advancing your projects going forward?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So while we continue discussing with them, Charbone is now at another level. We have started producing, and now the options that are in our toolbox are increasing. So management I are looking right now at the better options for our shareholder base to diversify and have improve the balance from equity and debt to leverage, let's say, our financing. And also by starting generating revenues, we'll be able to recycle those cash flows into our projects. And we continue having the support of our shareholders and looking at good anti-dilutive financing with better terms in the futures.
Thank you. There are some questions on the industrial use of UHP versus others. Perhaps you can just provide a little high level. I know you guys aren't, scientists and you're not the ones actually using the product, but maybe you can provide the usage of the UHP product and the need of the purity for a particular type of application like semiconductors.
Yes, so the ultra purity is it's where there's no contaminants into the gas produced, which is more difficult to do when it's from natural gas, for example, and when it's made with older equipment also, versus, let's say, being generating hydrogen from only water, where the humidity could be controlled also. So it's very important because it's in all our electronic devices, so the screens, the chips, the computer, of the phones, and all the electronic equipment used in data center, for example, that is really increasing right now with AI. So that's very important to keep the standard for those customers because it could damage their equipment, could damage also could have some impact on their customers, which could probably have an impact on their image and so on. So it's very important. It's also important in terms of the chemical and pharmaceutical production, where it needs to be pure and could affect the health of the people taking the drugs if it's not well done. So that's kind of the reason why the purity level, it's very important for some specific sectors, but are the sectors that are very in going pace right now.
So it's safe to say that Charbone is considering leveraging its UHP high purity hydrogen for sectors that are growing, for example, like AI and data center partnerships and ventures. Is that true?
It is true, and I think we can play on two fronts there. First, like I said, more data center that are putting through so more data center means more electronic devices, and it's also the hydrogen could also be an energy vector. But I could also let Dave put a comment on that question.
Yeah, but if I can add, by the way, we are a friendly company. We like to speak with anyone in the market. So I think the technology industry requests very much that type of products now. It's an industry growing very much. I remember a few weeks ago, I have one person ask me if we're we're interested to discuss with different companies to do a joint venture. So we're open to speak with the different customer bases, including the data centers, if they claim us to help to explore possibilities. We're there. But the reality, the hydrogen UHP have to be used mainly in the process of electronic components, and this is exactly where we're keeping focus.
Thanks, guys. With regards to partnerships, you did establish that partnership in Malaysia. Can you provide a little color on how that relationship looks? Are you owning those projects? Are you advising those projects? Any clarity on that consulting agreement?
No, that's a consulting service agreement where we have succeeded to sell for $1 million our expertise and know-how and supply chain knowledge that we have developed in the last 4 years, and helping a group over there to develop a clean UHP project. Would we be interested by running the project in the future? We'll see. But that's the start of a collaboration that would expand in the next few months and years.
So essentially 3 lines of revenue. You have your 2 divisions, the production division, you have your industrial gas distribution division, and some added revenue as a 3rd line of revenue from the advisory side as well, right?
Right, exactly it. And we're well open also and to collaborate with other a group that could be interesting by our expertise.
Good. A couple more questions
I would
here.
like to add
Go ahead.
something, Trevor, on the deal in Malaysia, if I can. Malaysia, it's a very good example about how the hydrogen market, recognizing Charbone at that time in the industry. It's not only for me an advice. It's also help these people to be quickly in the market with our chain supply, with our different partners. Benoit mentioned before ABB partnership. It's a fantastic deal for us to deploy different plant in North America, but also they're there also to help our partner, like in Malaysia, also to connect eventually their infrastructure on the electrical networks. So that type of deal for me, it's a great recognize from people who want to work with Charbone to save time to going in the market.
It's a testament to the team and its trained staff and the expertise that you guys have.
Correct.
Yep.
Exactly. And again, scalable modular project, again, always the same approach.
Thank you. So a couple more questions here. Do you plan on uplisting to a major exchange in Canada and or the US?
We're certainly inclined towards that. While we're focusing on increasing our capacity of production on both sides of the border, and we know that there's a process to be followed, and we'll be looking at that very carefully.
Get it? How frequently should investors expect operational updates throughout 2026?
But I think from regulations, we will for sure provide our results on a quarterly basis, and probably considering more webinar or also in addition of already press releases we were doing.
And assuming, as these operations continue to advance, an example is, the phase 1A, phase 1B, and advancing operations on your projects, on your hydrogen production projects. Presumably, there will be announcements as those advance in real time, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's press releases for sure that will come. Stay tuned, and we have been good at keeping our shareholders informed about our milestones achievement, and we will for sure continue to achieve those milestones and announce them.
Well, for sake of time, Benoit, I'll pass it back to you for any final comments. Perhaps you can reiterate Charbone's upcoming milestones on a timeline basis to leave investors with.
Yeah, so quickly, I made some comments earlier, but stay tuned to look at our advancements towards initial revenue source or Tracy, and also a rapid scale-up phase 1B beginning of the year, and also Detroit, Michigan project launch of phase 1 while increasing our activity on our other 2 streams of industrial gases distribution division and service contracts.
Right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, and thanks for everybody for joining today. Again, Charbone trades in Canada under the symbol CH and in the US under the symbol CHHYF. Today's webinar recording will be sent to all registrants and will be made available on the company's website at charbone.com. That is also where the presentation resides. If you have any additional questions that have not been addressed, please email us at charbone@rbmilestone.com. That's charbone@rbmilestone.com. Thanks again. That concludes today's event. Hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great holiday season.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
all.
Thank you at all.